Good day everyone, and I go by the name S.O. Olusegun, and this is Group 9 making their video presentation on the topic of human trafficking in Nigeria. But before we move on, do want to like, comment and subscribe. Now let's go and learn.
By way of introduction, the Criminal Code Act does not expressly give a definition to human trafficking, but there is an act that expressly covers human trafficking in Nigeria, which is the Trafficking in Persons, Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act 2015.
Human trafficking is a crime that involves exploitation of people through force, fraud, or coercion. It can take many forms, which including sex trafficking, forced labor, or forced marriage.
There are certain elements to human trafficking, and they include the following. The first one, that the victim was procured for the purpose of prostitution. The second one, that the accused played the active role in the procurement of the victim. The third one, that there was deceitful inducement of the victim.
So there are notable human trafficking laws in Nigeria. Section 14 of the Trafficking in Persons, Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act states that any person who imports into Nigeria another person, knowing that the person will be forced or induced into prostitution or sexual exploitation in Nigeria or while in transit, or exports another person into a country to which he is exported or while in transit, shall be liable on conviction for not less than 5 years or 1 million naira fine.
In addition, according to Section 15 of the same Act, it states that any person who induced or influenced another person into a place to do an act with the intent, knowing that the person is likely to be forced or seduced into illicit intercourse with another person, or the paper states any person who detains, keeps, or harbors another person with the intention, knowing or having reasons to know that that person may be forced into prostitution or any other form of sexual exploitation by another person has committed an offense, and upon conviction will be liable for 5 years imprisonment or 500,000 naira.
Section 14 is transglobal, while Section 15 is not transglobal, but deals with people.
We can see an occurrence of human trafficking in the case of Mohammed versus Attorney General of the Federation, where the appellants, Ago-Iwoye units, were arraigned before the Federal High Court in Ikeja on a 3-count charge, in which on the first count, they procured the victim for prostitution, thereby committing an offence contrary to Section 15A of the Trafficking in Persons, Law Enforcement and Administration Act. On the second count, they organized a foreign travel for the victim, thereby committing an offence contrary to Section 16 of the Act. Then on the third count, they deceitfully induced the victim to travel from Lagos to Libya, committing an offence contrary to Section 19B of the Act.
Section 17 subsection 1 of the Trafficking in Person, Enforcement and Administration Act 2015 stated that any person A who uses people below the age of 18 in the production of pornography, or B allows people below the age of 18 to be harbored in a hotel will be liable for not less than 7 years imprisonment and a fine of 1 million naira. C, any person who administers drug substances into his victim will be liable for a year.
Section 22 of the Act states that any person who requires, recruits, transports, harbors, receives or hires out another person for the use of forced labor, or permits a place or premises to be used for the purpose of forced labor, on conviction is liable to imprisonment of a term of no less than 5 years.
Conclusively, human trafficking in Nigeria, and as we have seen, it is characterized by slavery, inhuman and degrading treatment, and also forced or compulsory labor, which is in contravention with Section 34 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which guarantees your right to dignity of human persons and gives the following.
1. Nobody should be subjected to compulsory labor. 2. Nobody should be subjected to inhuman, torture or degrading treatment. And 3. Nobody should be subjected to slavery or servitude.
As a wise man once said, update no the cast, because update is always what? Up to date. My guy, after we don't tell you everything about human trafficking, if you like, good one. You see the body, he hot. But your punishment go out past him.
Say no to human trafficking.